Hey guys, how's it going? Something God's just been really showing me lately. All started a couple of weeks ago with a message that my mentor gave. And it was this idea around Revelation that God is always drawing us in. And, the book of Revelations, John starts the book by saying, "Grace and peace from he who was, who is, and is yet to come." So it's this idea that God has always been present, right? Like God was at the beginning, he'll be at the end. But more so too, that this idea that God has known you since before the world. Like God has known you and loved you since then. But also, how many times do we look at our relationship with God and we try to force it? So it's this idea that we have to, in our own power, draw God close to us. Like we have to bring him in, we have to muscle him in. And when we do that, how many times do we actually feel more stressed, more worn down, more exhausted? And, one of the reasons that happens is because we weren't meant to draw God near to us, right? It's actually God who draws us near to him. And he does that, and this is not a super exhaustive list, but just by being constant, faithful, and trustworthy. Like, God has never left, number one. Even in those moments where it just really feels like, God, why can't I feel you? Like, no, God hasn't left. You may not see him because, you're stuck in the crud or what have you, but God has never left you. And, how many times have you just gone through a really bad season and God still blessed you? Like, even in moments where you weren't supposed to, like you didn't technically earn any blessing, God still blessed you. That's because he's such a loving, merciful God, and he's faithful to that relationship that you have with him. Like God literally could have made a ton of slaves, but instead what he did was give us free will and call us sons and daughters as we come to know and accept him. Like, how crazy is that? God is just so trustworthy, and he speaks constantly. Like he's always bringing us up. He's always lifting us up. And so today, if you're feeling lonely, or maybe you've just gone through, you've gone through a breakup or a loss, and you're just kind of feeling like, God, where are you in the midst of all of this? Or maybe even just there's some things that are weighing heavy on you right now. I just want to encourage you to know that you have a Father who loves and cares for you and has been sitting there since the beginning. Like he loves you so much to take time to think about you, to know you, to love you before he even created the world. And so if he was thinking about you then, how much more is he thinking about you now that you're here on earth? And he just desires to have a relationship with you. So I hope that can encourage you today.